Hello, I'm Eileen McHugh with the BBC News. Israeli forces have completed their withdrawal from the Netzarim corridor in Gaza, a military road that has effectively divided the Strip into north and south sections. It was a term agreed in the ongoing ceasefire deal. From Jerusalem, here's Joe Inwood.
The Netzarim corridor divides the Gaza Strip in two. It was established by the Israeli military during the early stages of the conflict, allowing them access and denying it to Gazans. Their withdrawal was a condition of the first stage of the ceasefire deal, which, for now, is holding. Yesterday saw 3 more hostages released by Hamas, but their gaunt condition has led to shock and anger in the country. That will surely be a subject of discussion when negotiators travel to Qatar to continue ceasefire talks. Hamas has accused Israel of a lack of commitment to the process, which it says is in danger of collapse.
The Israeli President, Isaac Herzog, has said he views President Trump's Gaza plan as an attempt to find a new way forward. Speaking to the BBC, Mr Herzog said it was time to look for new ideas rather than going back to the same routine of attacks and ceasefires. Last week, Mr Trump controversially suggested resettling Palestinians from Gaza in countries such as Egypt and Jordan. Mr Herzog said he expected President Trump to hold talks with Jordan's King Abdullah and Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi soon.
I'm sure that they will have to express their views on the issue, and of course they are our partners in peace processes, including the Abraham Accord partners, and we'll have to find the right way to make sure that what happened will not recur again, meaning that Hamas cannot rule Gaza anymore.
Polls are opening in Ecuador, where President Daniel Noboa is seeking re-election after just 15 months in office. His term has been dominated by a crackdown on violent drug gangs, and he's proved popular with younger voters. But his image has suffered as he grapples with Ecuador's numerous other problems. The left-wing candidate, Luisa González, has criticised him for a slow response to last year's drought. President Trump has told US media he's spoken by phone to his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin about trying to end the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin would neither confirm nor deny the reports. Here's Danny Eberhardt.
Donald Trump famously promised to end the war within a day of taking office. Nearly 3 weeks into his presidency, he's still given little indication of how he proposes to do so. In a New York Post interview, he wouldn't elaborate on how many times he'd spoken to President Putin. "I'd better not say," it quotes him as saying. Such talk will unnerve Kyiv. Ukraine's former foreign minister, Dmytro Kuleba, has told the BBC he doubts whether the US could negotiate an end to the war by the end of April target, specified by Mr Trump's special envoy.
This is the latest world news from the BBC. South Korea's intelligence service says North Korea is sending thousands of workers to Russia, in addition to the soldiers it's dispatched to fight against Ukraine. It says many labourers enter Russia on student visas and then go on to fill vacancies left by Russians who've joined the military. International sanctions forbid North Koreans from working overseas. Police in central India say at least 31 suspected Maoist rebels have been killed during an operation in dense jungle in the state of Chhattisgarh. 2 security personnel were killed in the clashes in the Indravati National Park. The Maoists say they are fighting for the rights of the poor and landless and to have more control over their land and mineral resources. The first president of independent Namibia, Sam Nujoma, has died at the age of 95 in Windhoek. Mr Nujoma led the long fight for independence from South Africa, as BBC's former Africa editor Martin Plaut reports.
Sam Nujoma, known to his supporters as the father of the nation, led the long fight for independence from South Africa, culminating in his election as the country's first president in March 1990. Born in a remote village in the north of the country, Mr Nujoma helped found SWAPO, Namibia's liberation movement. He was arrested and jailed. On his release in 1960, he left the country and spent the next 3 decades touring the world, building support for his movement. He served as Namibia's first president, retiring in 2005. Criticised for being an authoritarian, he continued to exercise considerable influence over the country.
Martin Plaut reporting. Hollywood directors and producers have both voted Anora as their film of the year. Sean Baker's movie, which has already won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, is the tale of the brief marriage between a lap dancer and the son of a Russian oligarch. BBC News.